Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Ann Thomas Parker. I am a special education assistant at Perchie Elementary. I have been with LAUSD for 36 years. I am your SEIU Vice President. And during the time of the strike, I can tell you that we made history. Out of my 36 years being with LAUSD, I can see this, me being also a member and being a leader with SEIU. This has been one of the historic adventures that I've ever experienced with SEIU, because it's been times where we bargained, and I've been on the bargaining team for more than 3 terms. I can say that this has been a great experience, and 2, I can also share and say that we have never, out of all my 36 years with LAUSD, has ever made this type of impact as far as a raise, 30% plus 2. And us as special education assistants, we received our 7 hours, even though we're still fighting for others. I can also say that when we sat down with LAUSD, when our superintendent Corvallis did not want to negotiate with us and Karen Bass came in, this was an honor to have the mayor come into the union and sit down with the bargaining team and listen to our concerns on what we needed to do to make things happen in order for us to be able to go back to work, in order for the members to be successful on their jobs. She listened to us. And I can say I was very grateful and honored and very privileged to be a part of the bargaining team, because when you're a bargaining team member, it can be very challenging and long, dragged out hours when you're bargaining for your contract, and you sleepless nights. Sometimes we don't get home until 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 midnight, and we're away from our families, and it's very stressful. But we love our members. And I can say that us as a team, we work together as a team. And me, myself, as a vice president, due to the fact that I was on bargaining, I had other hats that I had. And so sometimes I was over here in bargaining, and some days I was over here assisting in labor management, and other days I did new members orientation, talking to the members in regards to what we were doing. So I was on the front line. Even when it was raining, we were out there. And it was challenging for some members. I can tell you it was really challenging for some members, because many people don't have a second helpmate at home. Some of them are single, and so they just depend on their own income. By the grace of God, I can say I wasn't one of them, but I can sympathize with those that were. And due to that, it was very challenging for many, so you have to encourage other people. And so we had to come together collectively and try to encourage one another, to let them know that we were going to make it no matter what. However long we needed to be out here, we needed to make our voices heard, to let Corvallis know that we meant business. And we met with Karen Bass, and she sat with us tireless days. We were there at City Hall, and it was an honor to know that he came in and sat with us and came to an agreement. And during that time, we were talking to her about, many of us have been with the district for over 30 years, and we don't have full-time hours, and it takes us a longer time to retire. She was listening. And I can say, due to some of us bringing those concerns and those issues about, it brought a change. It brought a change to part of our classification, and many others, it will continue to bring a change to many more. And that is how we got the start of becoming 7 hours, so that we can be able to gain those years of service, because it takes a long time to be able to retire. You'll be there until you're 60 or 70 years old to be able to retire, because you don't have enough years of service, because we don't get our full years of service when you're part-time employees. You only get it when you're full-time, and that's unfortunate, and that needs to change as well. But I can truly tell you that I was grateful to be a part of the bargaining team and be a part of this movement, and how it has really impacted my life, and how it has also brought history to SEIU, where we have changed all across the world. And so I am very grateful to tell you that I'm partly grateful to be a part of that bargaining team at that time, even though I wasn't there all the time, but during the time I was there. I am truly grateful to be a part of the team, and that we really fought together and we stood together, encouraging members to let them know what's going to be all right. And being that we worked together in unity with UTLA, we were on the front line, and we all came together to make the sacrifice for our leaders and for our members and for our families. And so I can tell you that it was really, really an honor to be on the bargaining team and to be a part of this historic adventure that we did with SEIU Local 99. Being on the picket line was very tiresome. Getting up early in the morning, you having to go to different locations. Sometimes it was raining, and that was a very challenging experience for many of us. Going and being supportive of the bus drivers as well, because bus drivers get up at the early crack of dawn. They're up early, and so we're trying to support everyone, letting them know how important it is. And so we saw so many different other people out there, not just us as special education assistants. We came across all over from all different classifications. And there were some pushbacks. There were some pushbacks for some people that didn't feel that they could afford to be out there. So some people crossed the picket line. So that was kind of an interesting experience, and seeing some negative conversations from even some teachers that did not want us out there, and some of our classified workers that felt that they had the willpower to be able to cross the strike line. And so that was a challenging experience as well. But you just take the good with the bad, and you continue to encourage the other people out there to look at it as not so much of a negative, and just move forward. So it was a challenge to see other people that wasn't really with us, but yet and still, we still made it happen. And we were able to be successful and be able to do it in dignity and with respect. And so I can truly say it was very, very interesting. My very first time ever experiencing something to that degree, but we got through it. We got through it, and we encouraged each other. No matter how difficult it was, we were able to encourage each other, and knew that we were going to make it through. They knew that it would bring change. They knew that we could continue to live with the wages that we were having at that time. We couldn't make ends meet. Who can survive in this economical time here in California? Prices are going up on food, prices are going up on gas, rent is out of control. It's difficult to live here in California. And so you have some people that are not even able to afford their rent, even though didn't receive a raise during that time, but we got a raise now. It's still a struggle for many of us, but not so much of a struggle as it was before. And so I think it has changed our lives to have given us a different perspective of how we looked at things. And so I can truly say that being on the strike line and encouraging other members in spite of what they didn't think that we could do it. Some people didn't really think that we were going to get the 30%. But we just had to, explain to them that we had faith enough to know that it was going to work. And so we continued to encourage, and we were blown away when we realized the agreement that we did come to, because we stuck together. And I think if we did not stick together, I don't think it would have happened. But because we came together and we showed solidarity, that is what showed the strength in numbers, and that is what counts. It was something to be in front of Beaudry. Well, we were at the rally. There were over thousands and thousands and thousands of people. It was so full, you can barely get through. And I can truly say that was a remarkable experience for me, because I have never experienced it to the degree. Like I said, I've been with the district for 36 years, and we've done a lot of campaigns when it came to strike and picketing for our wages. But to this level of degree, I've never seen it to this level. And it was a sea of red, a sea of purple. And being there, just watching, it was remarkable. It was remarkable. And it's something to be commended on with our leaders and our members, to know that they sacrificed and they were serious. They were serious about making sure that we got this 30% plus too. And they were really, 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 really their heart was there to know that even though they sacrificed, not knowing how long we were going to be on the line, how long we were going to be there to actually see the actual manifestation of it, we were willing to stay there as long as we needed to make sure that we were going to get what we were asking for. And it paid off. It paid off. Well, we definitely made history. And like I said, I hear a lot of conversation from other unions, people that may not have a union as strong as mine, and they say, You guys are truly inspiration. It is an honor to communicate with people that are a part of a union this strong, and they wish they did have a union as strong as ours. Some people that were not on the line with us, like UTLA joined us. Some of the ones that were other unions wish they were able to be a part of it, even though they wasn't able to be there with us, but they were there with us in spirit. They just wonder, like, how do we get to where you are? You know, how can I be able to get that 30% in my raise increase? What can we do as our union is preparing for negotiating with district? We should have been on the front line with you, and then maybe we wouldn't have to be struggling as much. So those were some of the things that I was hearing from other unions as I went back to work. And we had administrators that was telling us, we were out there with you. We may not been able to be on the front line with you, but we brought donuts for you, brought coffee for you, juice for you, letting you know we were there to support you. So we had a lot of support, even though they wasn't physically there with us on the line, but they were there with us spiritually, and they're encouraging us in other ways. And so it was truly a blessing to see. It's something that I would never forget.
For future members of Local 99 listening to this years from now, what wisdom do you want to pass on to them?
Wisdom is to let you know that you have to stick together, and it's so important that we come together in unity. Get out there and learn about what's going on in the union by coming to the meetings, come to the regional meetings. Get out there, come to the industry meetings, get connected with your leaders at your school site, and if you don't have one, become one. Because the only way you're going to be able to get strong in your work site is to come together in unity with each other, and to show the actual employer that you mean business with strength. In order to strength is in numbers. And so we stick together, whether you're a SEIU member or a UTLA member, it doesn't matter. Whichever union you belong to, if we all come together collectively, we will be able to move anything in our work sites in order to make things happen. So if you have some challenges, facing some issues, if you come together in unity, that is one of the things that brings the momentum up with our members and shows the solidarity, and they believe in what we can do when we come together in unity. It's so important to stand strong together. It's not about the division and discord. We have to stick together. Because if we have to do it again, you saw how we were able to move to get that 30%. +2, whatever we have to do when there's situations like this with members' hours being cut and the superintendent not following the agreement that he originally agreed to, and we have members that are struggling trying to get health care and their hours are constantly being cut because they can't get to that 4 hours. We have to know that we have to come together. Don't be afraid. If you're a supervision aide and you're out there and you know your hours are being cut, you have to come on the bargaining team and be a part, because it's so important that the union and the district sees your face. We can be the advocates for you, but it's so important for us all to get involved. So when we're lacking, that is what the hindrance is when we're coming together in unity. We need every single part of the body to come together. If we're missing the arm and the leg, we're not going to be able to move. So we got supervision aides that are kind of creeping in, and they're skeptical about, oh, I may lose my job because they're fearful. Don't be fearful, because when we come together, we're going to win anyway. We're there to support you and to encourage you, to let you know that no matter what you're feeling in your work sites, and we understand that you're working 2 classifications, come out and be a part of the bargaining team, because it's important to stay connected. We need you.